Okay, so the race to trade deadline starts tomorrow, and then it's another month after that to the end of the regular season. Are you a guy that on the plane or in the locker room, dressing room, watches the standings? Do you look at the standings, or you just play your game and win your points and see what happens at the end?
I this is actually seriously, I'm being serious. I look more at the standings now because my kids want to know where we are than I ever did before. Like I know we have it in the locker room, so you have a general idea, but like they always ask me like who's in first, who's winning, what place are you guys in? Like, are you guys winning? So I tend to look more now than ever before. But I'm not like actively watching. I think as you get closer to the playoffs, when whether we're fighting for a spot or teams that are fighting for that last playoff spot, I think that it gets interesting to watch because then you figure out how important some of these games are down the stretch.
Well,
What
if it
stresses
started
you
today,
out?
you'd be playing the Kings. You'd be playing the Kings if it started today. So
We got 26 more. A lot can change till then.
yeah, I know.
What stresses you out, man?
Um, I would say the fact that I got to think about this.
That's my question. That answers my question. It's
My
so
my biggest the thing that's obviously stresses me out the most is like not being around my kids. Like that, like it's fun going on the road because you get to go for dinners and all this stuff. But after 4 or 5 days on like a long, long road trip, it's like it's not so much stress as anxiety where you're not around your kids, you're not helping. Like my wife is a saint. Like she is a saint. She does everything. I mean, I'd be lying if I said she wasn't our rock. And then when I'm not there to help, it's tough. You want to be around to help. You want to be dad. I don't like it stresses me out when I miss their, whether it's gymnastics for the girls or the boys baseball or hockey or soccer for the girls, whatever it is. I don't like missing that stuff. I like going to their activities as much as I can. I like being present at that stuff because there's nothing better. Like even last night we had dance and you like watch the girls dance through this tiny little window and they see you and they wave at you and they smile. Like that is a cool thing. And I haven't been able to go this year because we've always had a game. So I finally had an opportunity to go on a Thursday and that felt really good for me.
Where was that instilled? Was that your mom and dad?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, they were present. They were at every possible thing they could be at. But when you have your own kids, it's a special, special thing. It really is.
this team. How good are you guys?
Well, I think our record speaks for itself. I think we had a pretty tough January, but if you look at where we were before that and the way we ended the last couple games on that road trip, I think we're a good team. Like we're up and down the lineup. I think people underestimate our depth. I think we haven't had Carl here for a long period, which is obviously a big piece. Creates a lot of pace for us, plays in all situations. I think like most teams this year, injuries have been a problem with the condensed schedule. You're trying to balance playing through things and trying to get as much rest in between games. But I don't see why we're not as good as we can be. I like our defense. We're deep. Our goalies have been good. I think the cool thing about our decor is we can play six guys and just kind of roll. Play two, like we can just roll four lines in 6D, two goalies really if we wanted to. I think that's important.
By
You
the
have to
way,
lean on some
Bruce
of that.
Cassidy, Aidan Hill, and Shea Theodore just reminded you that they were in the tournament too. So
Wow.
we don't. It's funny. It's it was out of sight, out of mind for a lot of a situation like that. I was actually surprised that Shea stayed for the rest of the tournament.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to ask him why, but I think his parents might have been there too, which is a
Sure.
fun thing. He's got a little one that maybe they were there. It's just easier. I mean, and the cool thing is he got to go on the ice last night too, right? I mean, that's maybe something
Right.
you want to do with those guys. So credit to him.
Well, you'd be leaning on some of that depth with Shea Theodore being out of the lineup. We appreciate you sharing some of the thoughts, both hockey and family, with us.
Yeah, that was easy.
Really?
Well, actually, I got one more then.
You got
Okay.
as many questions as you want.
The invite for the decision not to go in this tournament doesn't affect your desire to go to Italy next year with a name
No,
like Pietrangelo.
yeah, exactly. Right. I'll fit in there. No, it's almost in my head. I'm almost thinking like it actually helps me maybe go, because if I just continue to, play through what I'm playing through, and then I have to deal with it again next year, then I'm dealing with this again next year. Well, what if I can um, take care of this now, and then next year, I'm healthy all year, and then I get a chance to play. Like the Olympics is a really cool, really, really special thing. It is a very special thing. And the coolest thing for me, it's funny when you go through these things, like I was 24, but now I appreciate it, I think, a little bit more. And I didn't really realize it at the time, but the last night after we won in our Olympic village, all the Canadian athletes had they had a bunch of food and beer and whatever. And just talking to other athletes and how their experience is obviously completely different than what we're dealing with going over there. That was a really cool thing to experience. So I wish I would have appreciated that a little bit more when I was talking to those, other athletes. So you're part of a bigger thing, right? You're part of a bigger group.
Sure. Two things out of Sochi. Who did you ride bikes with when you went back and forth from the village to the rink? You probably had to ride the bike with the same guys.
We were right there. Like we were.
So you didn't have to ride a bike?
I don't think every day. No, we were pretty close. We were like the building from what I remember. It's a long time ago. You're making me feel old now. It was, I think it was the building.
And did you adopt a dog too?
I'll be honest. My wife tried to. It was like a Schnauzer mixed with who knows, but it was like a big dog. It was like, I think it stayed in the room with my wife one night. Yeah, it did, in the hotel room. And she tried to bring it back. We couldn't get it back. We just couldn't find a way. Yeah.
But that ended up being one of the great conversation points of all the guys bringing dogs home.
Yeah. I would have brought it back if I could. Go back for the thing. And now we're getting a new puppy. So there you go. She got her fix.
Oh, are you?
No, I love my wife, but I have 3 dogs now. 3 dogs.
What, you're getting a new puppy too?
Yeah. His name's kid's name is Elvis.
Elvis. What kind?
Well, he's a Cavapoo. We have a Shih Tzu who's 12, a Retriever that's 10, and now we have this guy. I thought it was a joke. I thought you were joking.